Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night from wherever you're watching me from. Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, you're welcome. Yes, I'll be discussing a very sensitive topic today. The topic had to do with the reality of migration. The topic had to do with, culture shock that a lot of people witness, when they come overseas, when they least expect that this is what they're going to experience. I'm going to be discussing uh, issues that happen to a lot of us, that happened to me before. This is my experience as well, but it has happened to me as well. So it's not very new, but it has to do with when people travel, they leave the shores of their country, husband and wife, and come to a new country. Definitely you'll be, surprised at what you get, especially when you leave a country where there's a lot of poverty, specifically when you leave Africa. And there are other regions that are a lot of poverty as well, but Africa, I'm talking about Africa this time around. When you leave Africa and you come this way to the Western world, maybe you come to the US, you come to Canada, the UK, and every other Western world, what you get to experience, if you don't have a very solid background back home as partners, if you are not very deeply rooted family, if you have a partner who is just with you because things are rosy and doing well, and you come to this side of the world and you are met with the shock that some of us have experienced, it tends to throw off family off balance. It throws family off balance, most of the time. The shock that a lot of us witness here, some of us, if not that we've been rooted, to withstand quite a lot of challenges, some of us will have given up as well, because what you get to experience in this side of the world, oh my goodness, it's way, way different. An example is the bills. You get to pay a lot of bills. You get to, get to maybe job, the kind of job you were doing back home. Some of you that were bank managers, were general managers, some of you were MDs. You come here and you start doing menial jobs. It gets to shock quite a lot of people. Like, what is this? What I'll be doing? And this is not just exactly what I bargained for. So this is a story that I saw online, and I want us to, listen to it, get to learn from it. And most times my stories are just for us to be able to learn and, add value to our own life, learn from other people's mistakes, and also check what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. So I was on this blue app called Facebook, and I saw, as usual, a story of a brother who was lamenting about what is going on, and I saw the wife's response as well. So yeah, this is the story that came about online, and the brother said, "This message is from my wife, and I'll give you all details, all our lies, and I think it's time we end it all. I am tired." This brother said he is tired. He said, "We got married 2012. I am 100% in charge of everything expenses, rent to feeding bills, etc. I never complained or bothered, as she's just a classroom teacher. built first house in 2016, and she had to stop due to distance, and she wanted to, the English I have to, try and correct some. She wanted to be selling wholesale eggs and cold room, which used her savings to start, eggs. So what he is saying here is that the wife wants to start, I think this is an experience back home in Africa, and he was telling us about his experience, and the wife is just a classroom teacher. He was doing 100% in charge of everything expenses. This is my obvious experience as well. I had this challenge back home when I built a house. This is not my own experience. I saw it on the Blue Hub, but I was having this experience as well back in the day. I built a house. I was, Africa, we men are meant to be taking care of everything, which is fine. It's okay. It's not bad. So this brother is taking charge of everything. Let's continue. But I sought the rent and the furniture, and she also took the freezer at home to start with. Left my Sienna 04 with her even before we moved to our own house. Still fuel it so she can commute from house to shop and school runs back in Nigeria. Every year, I send money to her sister in the UK for kids' school clothing. Apparently, it was in Nigeria, and this guy seemed to be doing well. I pay school fees. Just name any expenses. She complained. She dipped hands in her capital in buying something for the kids. I still gave her 500,000. Out of trust for my wife, I lodged 10 million in her account. She and her family members started securing UK admission to Japan without my knowledge. There's a lot of lessons to be unpacked in this story. Out of trust for my wife, I lodged 10 million in her account, and her family members started securing UK admission to Japan without my knowledge. So apparently, they started using the 10 million to plan exit from Nigeria without the husband's knowledge. And I had to use wisdom that I had issues with my business and needed the money urgently. He gave me a week that the elder sister borrowed the money without my permission. I shall collect the 10 million, and that's how the admission issue dies. I still have the admission offer email as evidence. Because of our head business, I decided to make inquiry about poultry, which I had to collect 50 million from Providence as super agent with Bet Nigeria to open. He became the sole distributor of eggs in the area. I had to build another house in the farm to monitor the poultry, as the first guys almost ruined it because of this. Because of this poultry, I still source Link as a wholesaler, as a wholesale feed distributor, which is 100% in charge. She gets all the rebates and gains. If she gets all the rebates and gains, even from my farm purchase. After much pressure from our sister that we should consider Japa because of the children, though we are doing very well in Nigeria. Here's the problem. If you're doing quite well in Nigeria, it's a Obodo or coming overseas is not usually for everyone. Coming overseas is not for everyone. Coming overseas is, if you're doing well in Nigeria, there's no basis coming here. Some of us that came here, we just thought that, okay, we could, do it because of children, because of the way the leadership, the leaders in Nigeria, the way they're running the country was so bad that we decided, okay, we need to move so that our children can have a better future. But if you're doing well in Nigeria, I think coming this way to come and have holidays is the best bet. I don't think moving, jettisoning everything that you have worked hard for in Nigeria, I don't think that's the best thing to do. I succumbed. I funded the whole process and COS 100%. 100% alone. COS alone was 13,500 pounds. This guy is doing well now. 13,500 pounds. COS alone was 13,500 pounds. Visa processing, name it. Not even one kobo from her. This is the red flag. Not even one kobo from her. She came in August and stayed with her divorced sister. She became nanny while that one is using her to pick shift. So apparently, she came and she was being used up. But the brother was still back in Nigeria. The sister, who is divorced, is now using her to work hard while she stay at home taking care of the children. She did few shadow shift with the COS people, and they stopped because they claim they don't have shift for her. But at least look for 20 hours elsewhere. She sat down doing nanny, and Baba Olowo will come in soon. That was the husband coming in to the UK because they didn't go together. I came in December and had the quarrel with her while she has started doing something. This is serious. We need to get apartment before our 3 children will join us. So they came in batches, apparently. The wife went first, then the husband went, then the children joined. We need to get apartment before our 3 children will join us. That was the first time I asked her what she has, and she said she has 1,000 pounds. I added 2,860 to make it 3,869. 1,600 per month deposit and other agency fees. I started shooting for jobs, but bills are not smiling. That is one thing with the Western world. The bills will come, Charlie, because was not smiling. I couldn't get IT job due to UK experience, but finally got a warehouse job. So, no matter what you're bringing from overseas, the experience, your education, everything, no matter what you're bringing, it is worthless in this side of the world. You start from square one. I almost cried. We rent out room so bills will be reduced. So maybe they got 3-bedroom or 2-bedroom. They have to rent out a room so bills will be reduced. But I paid the rest, including electricity, gas, while I asked her to pay council tax, as she finally got a 20-hour job. Since then, she refused to open up on her henny. I sat her down that UK life is different from Nigeria. Despite I am earning more from this stressful warehouse job. Let's have a family joint account. I am at advantage today, and it could go either way. She said, no, that I want to start monitoring her earnings, that she might start making a lot in the future. What kind of wife talks like that? When you know that your husband has been there for you in Nigeria, why are you doing this? So that's why I said in my introduction that you need to have a very, deep-rooted foundation back in Nigeria before you guys move. If you are watching me from Nigeria, if you're a man planning to move your wife overseas, I'm not saying it's very wrong, but please make sure that you guys don't have issues. Make sure that you have a kind partner that wants to come with you. Look at what this lady is saying, that he wants to be monitoring her earnings, that she might start making a lot in the future. I then closed the chapter. Since then, I continue the African man mentality of man carrying the majority of the bill. Eventually, the COS people recalled her and started giving her 5 long hours. We stay in Kent, but she has to do 3 days in Peterborough, and 2 days in London. I have never seen her pay slip for once. She kept lying that transportation takes all her salary. Let's move to Peterborough. Rent is cheaper and you save on transportation. My warehouse also has a branch there. I would just take transfer. That's the husband, suggesting that they relocate closer to where the wife is. He's even still being considerate because obviously Kent is expensive, but if they move to this new location, they will get something cheaper so that the wife will walk closer to her workplace. She said no, because it was close to her sisters in Kent. Apparently, she prefers to be closer to her sister. Her divorced sister initiated her in Ajo. Ajo is money contribution. They call it funds contributing thrift, Abby, where people bring money together to make it a large sum. So one person would take the contribution one at a time. People will take turn to take their turn. Without my knowledge, she doesn't open up on her earnings, and I'm not bothered. I left warehouse in August and got a security job as I have done the SIA training, but lost it because I need to resume by 8 a.m. This guy is even trying for himself. This guy is hustling for himself. I'm a man. I don't want to be biased here, but from what he has wrote to us, apparently this guy is hustling. He's a hustler. He has left warehouse, gone for security training. That means he's making attempts. The next thing is for a woman to be able to support, not even necessarily leave all your earnings, but at least support your man. I started it during holiday when kids are at home and when school resumes. I have to stop. So once school resumes, it stops. But when the kids are home, it resumes. I had to stop. She doesn't return from our London and Peterborough trip until 11 a.m. in the morning as she works permanent night shift. And I have to do the childcare in the morning. Most IT jobs want me to resume latest 9 a.m. but drops 2 kids off by 8:40 and won't meet up. He's also the one doing all the kids drop off. The wife will come home around 11 a.m. So apparently she can't do it. So this guy is hustling. Don't bother how I get mine, even if I have to borrow from friends till I get a job that matches your timing. That's how she agreed, because I cried and making up my mind to return to Nigeria, not minding all I have sacrificed. Hi, this is our brother, don't try. After November bill, she then suggested we move to Petersburg so she can save more after the 50-50 started. This lady, I think she's selfish, because looking at it, she's kind of, focused on her own gains and focused on, how much she can save more for herself. Initially, the husband had told her, let's move to Petersburg, but she said no. But now, I don't understand. Let's continue with the story. I cried now that I have lost the warehouse job. So relocating will mean starting afresh when I just managed to get a weekend security job. To avoid issues, I agreed. Because the guy had lost his job because, oh my God. Well, to avoid issues, I agreed, and I still do my percentage. She never bothered how I do it. She got the house less than 5 minutes walk to our service user. So she's not, spending a dime except for London trip. And she never bothered to adjust, to carry more bills. I still continue till I got another school security job, end of February 2025 till date. I got another weekend job so I can have a little extra, and I had to drive 1 hour to and fro every day weekend. That's how the problem started after she returned from Christmas holiday from her divorced sister. Please note that. After she returned from Christmas holiday from her divorced sister. We have this saying that show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Show me 5 people that you roll with, or 5 people that are your friend, and I'll tell you how you'll be in 5 years. So it means that if you're rolling with the bad guys, in 5 years, you'll be like the bad guys. It means that if you're doing the other way, if you're, rolling with the good guys or rich guys, in 5 years, I see you becoming a billionaire or a millionaire. My brother is still complaining that I have to carry more bills as I'm working 7 days. Mind you, sex is zero in a marriage. Sex is zero. I practically have to beg. So many issues I can't discuss here. Our parents back home started calling me that as an African man, I should be the one carrying majority of the bills. One of our sisters that just arrived was aware of all this story, but they still gang up. Madam, at least open up on your finance. Let's see what you are earning. She refused. She's a senior carer. She's a senior carer, not just ordinary care assistant. Do 5 long shifts at a time. She took agency job, making it 6 nights. I single out sex, but you see, these children at home expenses, you will do your part accordingly, and I will not move. Just one time, she has to assist in her lifetime someone that has never contributed 1 kobo in Nigeria until I was out of job, which really opened my eyes. Since January has been hell. Whatever you contribute is what I will do. We no longer have sufficient food, but we no longer have sufficient food after rent. I just managed to ensure they get something to eat and drop them in school. I cook and clean. Of what use is she then? Only thing is ILR, else now suffered I did here in UK. Have my life together and retirement plans, but gave up all for a woman who think is worth it. A woman I think is worth it. The story of this brother is quite pathetic. When I listen to it, it's more like my story in Canada. But this is not my story. My story in Canada, let me just brief it before I go. I'll show you the wife's response very shortly. When I was in Australia, and I used to be in Australia, then I went back to Nigeria to pick my wife, take her to Canada. When we got to Canada, because of course in Nigeria, I was the one footing the bill 101%. Because I had already built a house. We had everything. In short, we had everything. So taking care of her, usually people will say there's 2 sides to the story. But, well, I set up this channel because of this, so that I can give a voice to men, so that men can speak their voice. Not that women are not also abused, but women can also come to my channel and relate their story. But this channel is, I call it hidden pains, because the pains that men go through in the abuse, for a man to come out like this and say his story, I give it to him, because the pain that men go through, God, you cannot just relate. We got to Canada, and my wife said, and I said, okay, look, we're in a different country. We're in this side of the world where it has to be jointly. In fact, I ensured that she get a job first. I did everything to make sure that she gets a job first. I have had experience in Nigeria. I have had experience in Australia. I know that getting a job will be very easy for me because I already have international experience. So I believe that I should struggle for my wife to get a job first, considering the background where she came from, so that she can at least be sending money back home, so that family can, start, sending money. Family can have something from her because they are looking up to her. She's more like the breadwinner. And everyone is hearing me today. That's the truth. The moment she started, in fact, before we went to Canada, I told her, look, I've lived in this side of the world. I think when you have a skill, I think it's a lot better if you have a skill, so that you can make a lot more money. So, and she loves to plait hair. Look, my ex was making quite a lot of money when she's plaiting hair. Most times the white ladies will come, they want to plait their long hair. She makes on a hair, on a head, she makes $300 Canadian dollars. She makes quite a lot of money. I went into banking, so I'm a banker, so I joined banking. We're making good money. So, and I said, why don't you just even contribute in this house? Or more. You know what she told me? She said, no, be your mate, they do everything for you. Is it because we now came here now, you want to now start, you want to now start giving me responsibility? Were you not doing everything back home 100%? That's what she told me. God is my witness. She said, were you not doing everything 100% back home in Nigeria? What do you mean by I should come? We now go to Canada. You're not telling me to be paying. I said, okay, she didn't rent a store. I said, okay, you're making the hair in the house. You're using electricity. Okay, just pay light bill. Just pay light bill. Light bill, Nikon. Just pay light bill. Madam said, no, I can't drop Shingban. She might be watching me today. She will watch this Sunday. There's no point lying. She said, I can't pay Shingban. Whatever you're doing in Nigeria, continue to do it here. That is why, if you're watching this video today or much later, if you're in Nigeria, on that side of the world where, poverty seems to be there, when women or some men, even men do it too, I'm not saying women alone, men do it too. When they come to this side of the world and they make some little money, and the first thing they do is do the conversion rate and say, look at better money. Those are, they will not want to support you. Their focus is, let me make more money. Let me make more money. Let me make more money. They turn you to an ATM, to a slave. They make you the one, slaving away while they keep money. Where are they taking the money to? This lady now worsened the situation by, becoming friend to a sister that is divorced. What encouragement will you expect from them? That sister will definitely encourage you to leave your husband. Will definitely encourage you not to support your husband. That is why association, men, if you're listening to me, the people that your wife associates with, you have to be very careful. Let me give you my story before I continue with this sister story. So while I go to work, when I was working in a bank called Scotia Bank then, in Canada. So while I go to work, my ex will be making hair in the house. So the women that she now rallied around herself, that comes around to make hair, most of them were single mothers. Most of them were singles that divorced, So they were teaching her what to do, how she will, make sure that she was strategizing on how she was going to leave me. But that's a long story. That's another story for another day. At the end of the day, they taught her, what to do, the strategy she will use, so that she will call police on me, cause chaos and call police on me, so that police will come and, separate us and all that. Then she can move to go and do whatever she wants to do. But thank God, long story short, she came to apologize like 2 years ago, April 2024. But that's bygone. Let's continue with this sister story. So the wife replied and said, let me go to this is the wife's response. She said, the problem in my marriage started since my husband asked me to be submitting my salary and I refused. He then demanded for 50-50 for the house expenses, which I have been doing, even if it's meant for me to take loan using overdraft just to meet up with my own part for peace to reign. Some weeks ago, I proposed 60-40, and he swore with his father's grave that he will never agree to it. He has been keeping malice with me since then. These were the reasons I gave him. One, he earns way more than me. No thief here, as he walks 7 minutes walk from the house. Secondly, I earn lesser and I travel an 8 hours journey to and from work, which amounts to me spending about £500 on tea fare every month. Thirdly, I solely cater for the kids' financial needs. cook, and take care of the house alone. Although he does school runs in the mornings. Fourth, I can't continue going into debt every month and him using his own money to personally buy land and building in Nigeria without carrying me along. Family members tried to intervene, but he insulted me. He insulted them all, including my parents. My parents, 80 years old parents. 80 years old parent, oh, as in better insult, oh. He lies a lot. His reason for them was that I used to earn more than him and I didn't carry the higher part of the bill then, which is a big lie. I told him to show me the proof of his claim and I would succumb to his stance. He couldn't show it because he's lying. He sings about him bringing me to the UK and not giving my all. Blah, blah. Let me stop here, sir. The matter long. So this is the wife's response. And you see, I used to say that there are two sides to a coin. Usually, there's two sides to a coin or two sides to a story, but there's only one truth. There's only if you know, there's the truth. Everybody will say what pleases them, but the truth is that we'll go to the lessons for this thing. But let me show you some comments and let's learn from what people say. So this is the first comment that I saw that triggered me. Ishara Amokwe said, some women will only learn in a very hard way. Most women don't appreciate a good man until he slips their hands. Me, Asha, don't want to hear that is where we go enter same trouser. Women, we can do better. Joseph said, where are those that have judged and condemned this man from the narration of his wife? We shouldn't be too quick to condemn, especially when we haven't heard from the other person. Many men are bottling a lot in their inside, and because they aren't talking like women, we tend to judge them by whatever their wives say about them. A lot of men are going through hell in abroad, but they aren't saying nothing except to their close male friends. If that woman loses this good man, she will live to regret it for the rest of her life because her divorced sister didn't mean well for her. She is the architect of the external family interference that is grossly affecting their marriage. She needs to cut her off. But as it is, I think it's too late for the man. But the man seems to have made up his mind. Exactly what I said. That woman that is divorced is a major, major, major problem in this marriage. It's a major, major problem in this marriage. Because this thing. Ade Nike said, can we sometimes allow these men to voice and cry out? They are humans also. What does it take to help your spouse when they are in their downtime? Love is sweeter when we share, not just for spouses, but everyone around us. He is speaking from a place of hurt and betrayal. Women should do better when it comes to pulling our spouses up when they are down. It could be financially, emotionally. Living abroad takes a lot from us already. I hope they can sit and iron all this out peacefully. That's the truth. And you know the people that are writing this, they are women. This is a woman writing, I didn't care. Bad baby. I didn't care. Bad baby. Ikena said, smiles. The earlier women understand that these people are on a very dangerous mission against men, especially here in Diaspora. The better for them. Only but a few percentage of them are reasonable against all odds. Let's be sincere. I will not be biased here. It is not every woman. Look, there are some women. There was a woman that I saw. I learned about the woman. The woman is the one footing. There's a lot of them, not just one, putting the bills here overseas. The men are the ones. Some men are sick. So I wouldn't say it happens to be women alone. Men too. Some men only want ballet. Let me speak it in my language. Their head knock ground. You don't, some head don't kolo. So it's not specific to the gender. My own is, before you leave Africa, I'm not talking of just Nigeria. It happens in Ghana, it happens in Cameroon, everywhere. Before you leave Africa, please be sure that you have the right partner. The people can pretend for too long. Test them. Even if they're pretending, test them. Back home in Nigeria, leave some bills, let the woman pay. Once you see a woman that is grumbling when she wants to, or a man grumbling when they want to, when it comes to paying bills, you know they will. Look, a leopard cannot change its skin. When they come here, they become worse. Because here, you get to make more money. The law is covering you as a woman. Even as a man, you can get away with quite a lot of things. So whatever is in Nigeria that you guys are enduring is going to expatiate. It's going to be multiplied here in this side of the world. That is what is happening here. The woman is never supporting this guy back in Nigeria. Ikena said, no, okay, yeah. But only percentage of are against all odds, and getting those ones is like the biblical camel passing through the eye of a needle. May God help all the responsible men searching for a wife. I love two words he used here. He said responsible men. Responsible men. That means there are some irresponsible men. He said searching for a wife. In fact, he placed it in capital letters. That means it is not every woman that is a wife. Do you get it? It's not every woman that is a wife. So the next one says, yeah, so this one, Joy Ayodotun, please let our women know that men cannot handle all the bills in abroad. We have to help each other. Can you hear that? That's coming from a woman. Please let our women know that men cannot handle all the bills in abroad. We have to help each other. We have to help each other. Nkechi, oh my God, I love this Nkechi statement. Nkechi said, I knew when I read the wife story that there was more to it. Now that the husband has shared the story, it is clear that it is clear what the issues are. Unfortunately, they haven't been working together as partners. Nkechi, wherever you are watching me, wherever you are, I give it to you. Unfortunately, they haven't been working together as partners. They hunt teammates, even from Nigeria. Even from Nigeria, they are not teammates. Too many gray areas. They haven't seen of each other. Too much interference from extended families. They both need to have long sessions with a relationship coach to help them open up the core root of their resentment and show how they have deeply hurt each other. Exposes lies both of them have shared. Exposed their lack of accountability towards each other. Finally, both of them need financial intelligence and vulnerability of if this marriage will work. Divorce isn't the way out. Because, of course, they have children. Divorce is not the way out. Kemi said, it is women that is talking. That's the beautiful thing about this whole show. This whole thing. It's women that is talking. Kemi said, be careful of partners that are surrounded by their families. Just like I said earlier. Those ones that their siblings and parents are too always advised on how to run their marriage in a way that doesn't pleases their spouses. As they are in women, also they are in men. You've mentioned two of our sisters are there now. Is any of your own sibling there for you to at least lean on and get support from? Sometimes they are not there. The women has a lot of support around her. Some families are self-centered. It has to be only them and then, while their partners is working all their lives to make sure the family stands. That's it. You guys should sit together and discuss what exactly she wants to be contributing in the house. You don't need to see a paycheck. Yes, I support this. God is always with the faithful ones. It might be difficult sometimes, but the end is always joy. Whenever you get a good job anywhere, you are comfortable to live and able to pay your house rent alone, move there and ask her to join you with the kids. Women are to support with a little, not to be the primary source of household finances. Fantastic write-up by Kenny Adebi. But the truth is, look, I don't believe that somebody is supposed to be the primary. I don't believe that somebody is supposed to be the primary provider. I don't believe that. What if I marry a woman who makes more money than me? Will I still be the primary provider? No. If I'm making more money than her, fine. For me, though if I'm going to marry again, I'll just suggest that, okay, let us calculate what we need in the house. What are the expenses of this house? We have an account and dump. We have an account and dump. We share the equation and say, okay, let's put it there and let's use it for that expense. The rest money belongs to each and every one of us. And if you want to help each other, you help each other. But I believe, my own belief is that nobody should be the how will I put it, the primary provider, in the sense that you might be making more money than me. I want to even marry a woman who is more successful than me. I don't care. Because one thing I've found out is that we're not taking anything out of this freaking world. So why would I be bothered about what my wife makes? I'm not bothered about, I want to be very responsible. I take care of every responsibility in the house. But the fact is, my wife could be a billionaire while I'm just a millionaire. If my wife is a billionaire, let her take care of the maybe 70% of the responsibility. I'll take care of 30. It doesn't mean that I will still lose my respect. That is why it's important to marry the right person. Man or woman, marry right. Marry the person that is right. While you're courting, try and know their perception about money. Try and know the plans. You need to plan. You need to talk together. Okay, what are we going to be doing in terms of finances? It's important to spell it out before you get married. Kenny said, marry, God bless you. Marry a kind partner. Marry a kind partner. Marry a kind partner. Marry a kind partner. And lastly, marry a kind partner from a good family. This can never be overemphasized. Kenny, I give it to you. This quote had 110 likes. You can never underestimate marrying a kind partner. If you marry somebody who is not kind, you will suffer. Man or woman, you will suffer. This is the summary of this story. Iyafin said, men, it is very important to marry a kind partner. Period. Once you don't marry a kind partner, person goes suffer. Abiola said, I literally cried while reading this story. God will strengthen you. This is the case with most women who think their husband should bear all the burden in the house. There are many choices available to you right now. You may seek for employment in Nigeria and return or look for a means to protect your mental health, because right now, that is important than anything. From your details, you have acumen for succeeding in business too. Weigh all the options available to you and free yourself. You can still be the man in your house. It got 77 likes. Look, people are reasoning these days. People are reasoning these days. A man should not bear all the burden in the house. I would say that it's only because you marry. I tell people, don't marry your daughter. A woman should not go and marry her father. What I mean is, don't go and marry somebody because you want the person to parent you. It's only if your father that can parent you, that can provide everything for you. Don't go and marry a father. It's only your father that can provide everything for you. A man cannot provide everything for you. A man is not expected. You are coming together to be partners, not for you to come and become a parasite as a woman or a man, because men do it too. Princess said they both need counseling, and especially the wife. I suspect her divorce sister may be advising her wrongly not to support a man or open up to a man on financial security. But all men are not the same. Exactly. Look at brilliant submission here. Brilliant submission. Esther said, a long epistle from a seemingly weary and frustrated man. I pray that you and your wife are able to sit down and resolve this matter for the sake of primarily your respective health and then children. Because if you buy today, God forbid, life will continue with your wife and children. Please be strong and patiently plan things out with your wife. Hopefully, under the tutelage of Dr. Shola, I wish you both a home filled with healthy communication and understanding. It is attainable. Both of you just have to be willing to work towards it. Excellent. This is a woman. Adekombi said, I ran through the comments made on the side of the wife. Plenty of people don't even seek for the side of the man before backing him. Anyways, there are always plenty sides to every story. Exactly. Those are just few of the comments of the several, over thousands of comments that I saw on the story. And I said I should come and share. I don't want the video to be too long, but what can we learn from this? What is the lesson that we can learn from this? I always will come with stories, videos, but there is lesson to learn from it. This is a deeply emotional and complex story. It is not just about money. It is about trust, respect, communication, and the clash between culture and partnership. What are the key takeaways based on the narratives from both sides? Number one, money should not be a weapon, but a bridge. In the husband's story, he sees himself as a provider who gave everything. In the wife's story, she feels suffocated and controlled. And what is the lesson we can learn here? Financial transparency isn't about control. It's about unity. If one partner hides earnings and the other hides investments, the relationship becomes a business competition rather than a marriage. Couples need a shared financial vision, not just shared bills. Exactly. Number two, the danger of keeping scores. The husband lists every expense he ever paid: rent, visas, furniture, head business. The wife lists sacrifices: cooking, loans, childcare, everything. Two of them are listing. The lesson: when you start keeping scores, you stop being a team. Resentment builds when contributions are measured only in money and not in effort, time, or emotional labor. A healthy relationship requires recognizing that both partners give in different ways. Cultural expectations can, number three lesson, cultural expectation can destroy modern marriage. The husband feels the weight of the African man mentality that he must carry the majority of the bills. The wife feels the pressure of modern equality, but also wants security. The lesson is old tradition and new realities must be negotiated. The old tradition back in Nigeria and the new reality in the UK must be negotiated. You cannot use culture to demand respect while ignoring your partner's needs. Marriage is a partnership, not a patriarchy or a matriarchy. It's a we. It's a joint thing. That's what it's saying. Number four, secrets will always surface, no matter what. It will always surface. From the Eden 10 million naira and the secret UK admission attempt to the Eden payslips and Ajo, which is I call local savings group. Secrets eroded trust. What's the lesson here? If you build a marriage on secrets, you build it on sand. Trust is the foundation of intimacy. Without it, even sex disappears, as mentioned in the story. Number 5 lesson, communication is not just talking, it's listening. The husband feels unheard and unappreciated. The wife feels bullied and disrespected. Both are speaking, but neither is listening. None of them is listening. The lesson here is that you can win an argument but lose a marriage. The goal should be understanding, not victory. If your partner is crying, begging, or shutting down, the problem is bigger than the bill. And number 6 lesson, the Japa dream doesn't fix a broken home. That's exactly what I mean. So it means that the house had problem back in Nigeria. So Japaing to wherever doesn't fix anything. So that is why it is very important to be careful from before moving overseas, the foundation that you have back in Africa, wherever you're coming from. The Japa dream doesn't fix a broken home. Japa no dey fix broken home. Let me say it in Yoruba. Aba Jadanu from Nigeria kò mí pé ilé yẹn máa tòrò. How could I say it again? Japa no dey fix broken home. They moved to the UK hoping for a better life, but the same problem followed them. The lesson here is that location changes your address, not your issues. If the relationship is broken in Nigeria, it will be broken in the UK, Canada, or anywhere else. You carry your baggage with you. That's why it's important to fix it before you leave. Number 7, intimacy is a mirror of a relationship. The husband mentioned sex is 0. While painful, this often reflects deeper issues of respect, resentment, and emotional disconnect. The lesson here is that intimacy is not a reward for paying bills. It is a result of feeling safe, loved, and valued. When intimacy dies, it's usually because of the emotional connection. It's usually because the emotional connection died first. Final thought is that this couple is not evil. They are tired. The couple, they are not evil. They are tired. They are 2 people who forgot they are on the same team. Whether they stay together or separate, the lesson is clear. A marriage without transparency, teamwork, and tenderness is just a contract waiting to be broken. What do you think is more wrong in this situation? Who do you think is more wrong in this situation? Or is it a case of poor communication on both sides? Please let me know. This is the story. This is the story. Let me know in your comment in the comment section. Some women are greedy now, so some women are very greedy. Sadly, they are very greedy. Yeah. This is the story, and it's so sad. Please make sure that you know your partner before you leave Nigeria, before you leave Africa, before you leave whatever country you're watching it from. There's a deep, deep cultural change here. The way you do things back in Nigeria, it is not the way it is done here. It is not the same. There are bills here to be paid. One person cannot pay it alone. The person has to work really hard to be able to pay it. That's why people do 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs before they can be able to meet up with their bills. Then people have to go through advancing themselves so that they can be able to, at least be in the middle class so that they can do just 1 job instead of 2, 3 jobs. Please, while your partner is struggling to, make everything okay in the house, support. Partner, I mean, is not just a guy or a man. It should be a woman, it's a man, everybody. Please support. support, please. Thank you very much for watching. And this is where I will end the show. Please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell. I have another one that I will be doing 7 p.m. in the next, I'll be starting the next 3 hours. That has to do with a cheating wife who is still chatting with her ex-boyfriend. Stay tuned in 3 hours. I'll see you again.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and press the notification bell. Hi, goodbye.